Hi, warriors. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having an amazing day, an amazing weekend. Today I want to talk about um, being a toxic person. So I've been watching a lot of videos from this guy called Ace Metaphor. I just want to say his name before I forget. Um, he is amazing. I've been watching like a lot of his videos. I've been learning a lot about myself, and he's very like straight up, very in your face. So you can't sit there and be like, nah, you're lying. Like, no, like he's got it. So if you struggle in relationships, um, friendships, and anything like that, I suggest you search him up on IG and Facebook and watch his videos. He's pretty amazing. So there's one thing that he said about being a toxic person. So when you think about a toxic person and what makes you that, you think like how you are with other people, right? Like how you are toxic with other people. And if you're like me, with other people, I always try to, be giving and be loving and be caring and all that. But then when it comes to myself, I'm not like that, right? Like I doubt myself and I put myself down and I criticize myself, etc., etc. And when he brought up the whole toxic person thing, he was like, you can be good to other people, but if you're toxic to yourself, then you're still a toxic person. And sometimes we don't even realize it, right? And so, for example, in relationships, you can be an angel to the other person, but the second, like, if that other person is hurting you and you're staying in that relationship, then you're being toxic. You're being a toxic person. Maybe not to him, but you are to yourself. So that kind of like opened my eyes a little bit, because for like most of my life, like I've always tried to be really good to other people, and sometimes I'm too good to other people. I'm honestly better to others than I am to myself. And so I've never looked at myself as being a toxic person. But now, like when I look on things, I'm just like, wow, like I am a toxic person. And it takes a lot to admit that. And because I feel like a lot of us are in denial. Like we deny a lot of things and we lie to ourselves about a lot of things. So even though like in the last year I've tried to live in my truth and show my truth and speak on my truth, there's still little moments where I can find myself lying to myself. Like for example, I'm on dating sites and I'm trying to keep an open mind, but at the end of the day, I don't know why. I mean, why am I looking for someone when I know deep down I'm not ready? Like there's still shit from my past that I'm holding on to that I need to let go. There's still perspectives that consume my mind that I need to change. So there's still a lot of things about myself that tend to be hard to admit to myself. And I feel like the things that like influence that, so like when you start healing and going down that path, you start getting more in tune with yourself. So you start getting in tune with your mind and your heart and your soul, and you realize that they are three different parts of you, and they all have different influences and different aspects to them. So like for me, God, it's hot in here. So for me, the mind is all about the ego. So the ego, we tend to blame outward, and sometimes we can have that false confidence. So for me personally, blaming outward, so let's say like in the whole love department, I'm single, and every time I talk to someone, I don't know, it gets boring, or we grow apart, or the guy ghosts me, blah, 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 whatever. And, when you start your healing journey, you learn that other people's actions towards you are actually like a mirror of yourself. So however people act towards you, it's usually like It's usually like what you need to work on yourself. So like, for example, if people are ghosting you, it's a way of telling you what you're doing to yourself. So a guy ghosting you is like you ghosting you, you know, like I'm not putting as much focus on myself as I should, and I'm not giving myself the time that I deserve, right? Because I'm too busy giving that shit outward. So a guy ghosting me, it forces me to be like, shit, I don't need him, you know, like I'm supposed to give that to myself. And then the false confidence, for me, that's like knowing that I have shit to work on, but then being like, yeah, I'm good the way I am. Oh, I can handle this. Oh, I can handle that. And in the end, it's false confidence, you know, like in the end, it's actually shit that you can't handle. And it usually like all blows up in your face. So yeah, and just to come back to the whole blame outward, it's really important to remember that, you know, all the blame that you put outward, it's really just you lying to yourself and knowing that it's you that you know you're supposed to be blaming. And then the heart is all about emotions. So the heart, you know, like my heart, it just wants to love and it wants to give and give and give and give and give. So I find that it's really hard to control those urges, knowing that I need to heal myself, but then my heart falls in love with people and my heart wants to be with people and whatever. So it's really, really hard to like kind of stay on track. And then there's the soul. The soul is the speaker of truth. The soul, it's the part of you that like you legit cannot ignore or else it'll just get louder. It's the part of you that knows exactly what you need and what you need to do. And the more you try to ignore it, the louder it gets. And I feel, and then there's like, wait, I wrote here, every time you pursue anything before self-healing, the soul will remind you. So that relationship will fall apart, or, you know, shit will happen. And I feel like the universe is really in tune with your soul. So the more you avoid healing, the more it will send you things that, one, will hurt you, or two, will be too good for you to remind you of what you need to work on. And that really sucks, but I've realized that that's what fucking happens, and that's what's been happening to me. It's like whether I get shit that hurts me, where I'm like forced to keep working on myself, or I get good things come to me, reminding me, fuck, I'm not good enough for them. I can't give them what they need. I need to work on myself. And it's just, it's a vicious cycle. That'll just keep going and going and going until you actually like buckle down and work on your shit. So why am I a toxic person? I have insecurities. I have anxious attachment where, you know, I can get jealous. I can get clingy. I have a lot of self-doubts. I have shallow tendencies. I still have, you know, a picture of who I'm going to fall in love with. And it's really hard to let go of that. And it's really shallow. It's really surface level. And that's something that I really, really want to heal within myself. Using mental illness as an excuse. You know, we can sit here and be like, I have anxiety, I have depression. Yeah, you do. But that shit is caused by something else, by a trauma that you need to heal. And if you heal that trauma, it'll relieve your mental illness and it'll make you stronger in healing like future triggers. So I really, really hate it when people use mental illness as an excuse to hurt others. How am I toxic to myself? I don't believe I deserve better a lot of times. I ignore red flags and I tend to settle. You know, I'll meet someone and shit comes up where my soul's like, no, you don't want this, you don't need this. And I'm just like, but I want love. And that is so fucking toxic. So yeah, so I'm getting to the end of my video. I just want to talk about that. Don't lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Everybody is a toxic person in some way. And the sooner you see that, the easier it'll be to heal those parts of you so that you can get yourself ready and open for real love and real connections in life. So I hope you guys have a good Sunday. Love you.